Welcome to the Weekly Blend, your source for everything TV, movie, and video game related. I'm Lasse Lund.
I'm Corey Burris.
And I'm Greg Santee.
The game that we're going to talk about, which this is one that you haven't played either.
Splinter Cell
Conviction.
No, I didn't.
So, the latest from Tom Clancy. It's been in development for a long time.
Like 5 years.
Yeah. And we often talked about in the audio podcast, like the visual style. We were really excited for how they put the word, like your mission objectives up on the screen, and like they really went for more of a Jason Bourne feel as opposed to more secretive, like it's more fast action and stuff. I don't know. I enjoyed myself. The campaign is maybe 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Some really cool scenarios that they put you in. You have the mark and execute feature, so you go up and you take down a guy with hand-to-hand combat, and then you can mark up to 4 people depending on your weapon, and you'll take them out in quick succession. And it's a typical Tom Clancy tale of EMPs. There's always got to be an EMP in a Tom Clancy tale, and then Sam is discovering what really happened with his daughter, and there's some kind of takeover of the United States or something like that. So
literally, to me, I felt like it was 24.
Yeah, right? It was
it's
really
got like
24,
those
yeah.
in over-the-top moments where it's like, this city's been nuked, and you're like, what in the world? How did this happen? You know, like it feels like that through the whole thing in the pacing of the storyline. But it also, you felt like Jack Bauer, and the fact that you could grab a guy, take out 4 guys really fast, and you kind of felt that power. Now, I was really excited about it, and I still think that like the single player experience to me was just incredible. Like to play through that the first time, I went back and started playing through it on hard, and it's just as easy as it was on normal. Like it's because
really normal, if you get seen, you're pretty much dead anyway.
Yeah.
So
you have to. I mean, I did like that you could fight your way out of a moment, just like you could in the single, which was one of my biggest complaints about previous Splinter Cells, is I didn't feel like I could fight my way out of a situation. But some of the things, like some of the co-op stuff, kind of. It was very linear. One of the things I was really excited about was the co-op moments, being able to play through this whole mission thing with somebody else, and it was fun. But I kind of was over it because it was very much like, these guards are here, they do this thing. Once you kind of figure all of that out, you just kind of play through it.
Once you go through it once, then it becomes formulaic and routine. Yeah,
and it was that way with the whole game. I thought overall, though, it was a great moment. It's what I wanted them to do with Splinter Cell, and I can't wait. I can't believe it took them 5 years to get to this point, and I hope it doesn't take them this long to come out with the next one, and I hope that the next one's just a little more refined.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been, it kind of, later on it kind of stuck to some of the same format. I felt like it could have mixed it up maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. You're given a huge toolkit, as far as different moves you can do. And,
weapons.
And stuff. What I found
out...
out...
the pistol the whole time.
I used the 4, where you can mark 4 guys. It's the only weapon that you can do that with, so you end up using it 100% of the time. They give you a lot of options on what you can do. There's a lot of pipes you can climb up and different ways that you can approach a situation. But because of the mark and execute, I always found myself just taking the head-on approach. I would go up, I would mark whatever guys were kind of the closest threats, and I would go up to the closest one, kill him, and then bam, 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 clear out the room. So I was never really given an incentive to really come up with a creative strategy on, okay, I'm going to go up on this pipe and I'm going to drop down this guy. I'm going to take out these 2 guys and sneak over here and grab this guy. Yeah, like you see on all the trailers, like the head-on approach usually worked in 90% of the situations. So I didn't feel...
There was only a couple situations where they put more than 5 guys in a room, where you couldn't use that option.
Yeah.
And that's,
So I never really felt super...
Play the next game the way you do.
What's that?
That explains why you play the next game the way you do.
Do I play it a certain way?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. I was going to say something else about the game, too.
Anyway, overall, I think that, it will be interesting to see where they take it. A lot of people are arguing that it's way too easy. And I can see that with the marks and execute. I didn't feel like it was too easy. It wasn't too easy. It just wasn't... I mean, it wasn't as creative as it could have been. There's some really cool... Like, I like the environments that they did. Like
they didn't force you to be creative to make kills, it sounds
like. Right, yeah. Like I said, the head-on approach worked. Right. So I like a lot of the environments. I like the carnival scene where you have to... This is an example of them mixing it up, where you had to go and track guys down so they were in the shadows, and then you could grab them. And then one other feature of the game is you could interrogate people. And so you could... Which really amounted to you
Tap a button.
Yeah, you tap a button, he'll do something to him.
Somewhere else.
Move him to another piece of furniture, and he'll do something else. It wasn't very interactive.
But you could only stay within like an invisible boundary of a certain area. So
But so like tracking these guys down and getting information from them in the carnival was cool. You had to rendezvous with arms dealers and
well, they had the feature of the last known location where they were like, well, this is where they saw you last. But it
you have so little
really
health
cool.
that
you have so little health, but it was like you would just do it and.
Plus, it's a stealth game. You get the most satisfaction out of not being seen at all.
Right.
And in order to use that system effectively, you had to get seen.
Yeah.
And so most people are going to restart checkpoint.
Like a tap thing, like in Metal Gear Solid style.
No, they don't do that.
Really? You should have like a make noise button.
Well,
awesome.
your camera, like your sticky cameras, will make noise.
But you get to use those once.
Yeah, they're not that available that much, except for in multiplayer. But
floating camera, Perfect Dark. So
yeah, exactly. The spy cam.
Yeah.
Overall, worth a playthrough though. I think if you haven't played it, it's definitely worth playing.
And I enjoyed co-op to get it's worth playing co-op through. But I mean, we bought this game knowing it's going to be a quick burn while we wait for Red Dead Redemption. We'll play through it in 2 weeks and then be done with it.
Yeah.
So, all right, you can always stay up with all the current news on any of these topics, movies, TV, and video games by going to our blog, theweeklyblend.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at /LassaLund.
/Corey Burris.
/Greg Santi.
And remember, you can, if you subscribe to our podcast, you also get our audio podcast each week, which we talk about all the news that's coming out for that week. Yeah. So it's an interesting discussion about things going on. We also give like our little thoughts on little news blurbs that are coming out. So make sure to check that out too.
So until next time, we're out.
Have you gotten your Game of Thrones?
No.
Yet? Are you kidding me? Are you sure you're not didn't miss your renewal?
No, I went and renewed it.
You sure?
You said nude.
I renewed it. You said nude.